प्रेम से बोलो से वृंदावन बिहारी लाल की जय। Achha Jai Sitaram everyone. At this point in time, my dear devotees, I'd like to take this opportunity and humbly welcome each and every one of you for this evening, rather, as we are indeed part and parcel of this wonderful worship, as we think about that wonderful Father, as to how He was able to impact upon the lives of each and every one of us, and furthermore, being a part of this wonderful time in history where we are able to say to ourselves that yes, we have known such a great soul. My friends, as earlier on, the wonderful Shran was indeed performed along with the Mahadan. Now in remembrance of this wonderful Father's Day, we all join together in a couple of moments of satsang in glorification to Bhagwan Sri Krishna. So my friends, as we all join our hands together now, we all close our eyes, we meditate on Bhagwan. We seek His blessing, we seek His guidance, we seek His protection. Mahadeo. Om Sri Ganeshaya Namah. Saraswati Namah Sri Guru Charan Kamalabhyo Namah Vakratunda Mahakaya Suryakote Samarava Nirvighnam Kurume Deva Sarvatadhyeshu Gurur Brahma Gurur Vishnu Gurur Devo Maheshwara Gurur Sakshat Parabrahma Tasmai Shri Guruve Namah Tasmai Shri Guruve Namah Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya Shri Bhagavan Uvacha Jnanam Param Guhyam Me Yadhi Vigyan Samanvitam Sahasraksham tatam cha grihanam gaditam maya Shri Bhagavan is speaking. I was only before the creation. There is nothing different between Sat or Asat. Or beyond when there is no creation, I remain the same. I am the same as all creation, and whatever is saved from this creation, and do that too. Yadhanam yatyata bhavo Yadrupam karmanakaha Tataiva tatra Vijnanam Astu me Mahadan which appears to be the addition of the original principle, but doesn't appear in the soul. Consider that ignorance as the illusion of the soul, which is false like reflection in darkness. Aham eva samam vyavre nano dhyodatasya satparam Paishadhaham yate tacha Yova shishyate sosmyaham. Like the five mantras, earth, water, fire, air, and space are present in everything. They also exist separately. I am in everything. I create the same and exists without him. Rateham yat pratyattenam naprayate chatmane tad vidya kanu maya yatra bhasa yathatamaha. For those who desire to know self-principle, it is only to know that essence of the intercession order, the principle which remains everywhere and eternally beyond location is time and itself. Understand this to be who I truly am. Om iti Shri Bhagavat Mahapurane Ashtadhashah Sasyaham Sahitayam Veshacham Divya Yakshakandehe Bhagavad Samvade Chatushoki Sabhagavad Samvatamam Swagatam Krishna Sharanagatam Krishna Swagatam Krishna Nagatam Krishna Nagatam Krishna Sharanagatam Krishna Swagatam Shri, Swagatam Shri, Swagatam Krishna. Swagatam Krishna, Sharanagatam Krishna. Abiyat hai, ho salun mere, ho marat kusni. जाके कोई कष्ट से हट नहीं जाता है स्वागत कृष्ण शरणागतम कृष्ण Shagatam Krishna, Sharanagatam Krishna, Shagatam Krishna, Sharanagatam Krishna, Sharanagatam Krishna, Sharanagatam Krishna. बोलो श्री वृंदावन जय लाल की। My dear devotees, having a person of this caliber, our dear wonderful Father, who has departed this mortal coil a couple of months ago, it feels as though it was just yesterday. There was this huge arrangement of this beautiful yagna, where myself, my family and all of us, we were part and parcel of this yagna. A little backstory. My family, let me rephrase it. My generations prior, as well as this generation, this family and their previous generations held a specific bond, held a specific relationship. Papa as well as my grandfather. I don't know if my great grandfather as well. They shared a very, very strong brotherhood. And that tradition, that love, that respect continued even up to this very day. When that yagna had taken place a couple of years ago, Papa had requested my father, Pandakeso, for me to read about him. And on our journey, we were passing through Barbados Road. He's telling me, he says, "Sat, this uncle, he knows Rama in the left, right, and center. Can't make any mistake with him." So I was a little more intimidated to come up and up here to read in front of a scholar of him, such as him. Nevertheless, Sri Hanuman Baba, he gave to me the strength, he gave to me the calmness that I needed to fulfill my duty. And as I began reading Sundar Kand of Ramayana, you know what happened? I glanced across the Papa, and every single Dohan Chaupai I sing, he's muttering it as well. You see his lips moving. Couple of weeks after now, I saw at the end of the yagna, at the end of that night that I read, I said, "Papa, how it was?" He says, "Yeah, it was alright, mate, it was alright." I said, "Okay." A couple of weeks after, my father came to me, and you know, the same topic of the yagna was being discussed. And he said, "You know, Papa, I really like how you read." I said, "Really?" I said, "Well, I asked him and he told me that how I read alright." He says, "Sir," my father told me, he says, "Sir," he carried me in this room right here. And he says, "Panditji, the young boy doing very, very good, but if I tell him that, he'll get too swell-headed." My friends, so this was the type of love and the type of relationship that we had. I remember being a very, very small child. We would have come over here and getting gahi and ghee and so forth and talking and relaxing. So to have such a noble person who has been honored by the India High Commission, a name that has been synonymous through this entire village and even the country. And Bhai was telling me that this picture was taken when he was in the States. He did that 3 nights. And even this world, it is truly a huge loss in the limb of Sanatana. But what we must do, my friends, is that we must understand the teachings of the Srimad Bhagavad Gita. That death is something for each and every one of us who are born. Once we are born, my dear devotees, we have to die. There are no two ways about it. This evening, my dear devotees, I wouldn't want to keep you all long because I know that we have a little something planned as well. Nevertheless, it is indeed my opportunity, my duty to give to each and every one of you a couple of shlokas from this wonderful character known as the Srimad Bhagavad Gita. Devotees, what does it say? Sunaho bhupa mane lai. Prem se bolo si Vrindavan Bihari Lal ki jai. Narayanaye Krishnaye Govindaye Namo Namah. Narayanaye Narayanaye Krishnaye Govindaye Namo Namah. Hare Krishna Hare Govinda Namo Namah Adhyaya अर्जुन ने कहा श्री कृष्ण तुम कायोगे तुम बचताए आगे उपदेशा देते हो और प्रेम करन करे कृष्ण आए पूरे आए कौन नारायण Hare Hare Krishna Hare Govinda Namo Namah और फिर कर्म के लिए भी कथा दे वो करियो बात है जिससे होंगे जो हरे हरे कृष्ण हरे गोविंदा नमो नमः प्रेम से बोलो वृंदावन बिहारी लाल की जय। अर्जुन ने कहा श्री कृष्ण तुम कर्मों को त्यागने का भी उपदेश देते हैं और फिर कर्म करने के लिए भी कहते हो कार्यों से उन दोनों में जो श्रेष्ठ हो उसे एक बात की निश्चय करते के भक्त करो। My friends, Bhagavan Shri Krishna is placed in front of Arjuna, and certain questions that Arjuna Maharaj is asking him in the middle of the Kurukshetra battlefield devotees. Bhagavan Shri Krishna is asking, he says, Arjuna, you seem to be very flustered with whatever decisions that you need to make in life. But what we need to understand, my dear devotees, is that every decision that we make in life has a certain consequence. My friends, Arjuna says, he's speaking to Bhagavan Shri Krishna, he says, Prabhu, you speak about the renunciation of actions, the renouncing of actions. And then you tell me that I needed to act. Seems a bit controversial, not so? It seems as though it is contradicting each other. He says, Prabhu, tell me with certainty one thing which is the best amongst the two. How can you tell me to renounce actions and to perform my actions? To renounce everything in this world and to perform my karmas. Shri Bhagavan is saying, he says, renouncing of actions and observance of actions, both are the doers for welfare. So whenever a person, by their devotees, when they have to observe their actions, whenever a person has performed karmas, every action has an equal and opposite reaction. Both of these, by their devotees, are the doers of welfare, meaning that whatever they do within their life, it has an impact. He says there is karma in both. Karma is superior to sannyasi. Many people say that they want to renounce, they want to sit in a place of meditation, they want to give up everything. But once a person continues to perform their duties efficiently and effectively, devotees, what happens? That person is superior to a sannyasi. Take for example, you know that people is having yajna or puja or satsang, whatever the case may be. The action of simply getting everything together, such as the flowers and so forth, getting and assisting in the leaping of the bedi, the cutting of the leaves, and making of the prasad. All of these things attribute to our karmic account. Why? Because we are addressing ourselves. We are facing ourselves to perform our duties in order to assist our brothers and sisters. How is karma yoga so deep and so much better than being that of a sannyasi? Devotees, when we look at the Ramacharita, we see that Shabri Mata, what did she do? Shabri Mata, when she saw Bhagwan Shri Ramchandra, she said to him, she says, Prabhu, Adham te adham, adham ati nari. She says, Prabhu, the lowest of the low is as to who I am. I do not know mantra, I do not know yantra, I do not know tantra, I do not know how to please you. But all I have within my heart, Bhagwan, is indeed that love. It is indeed that love that you have shown me, and now I am giving it back on to you. So when a person continues to live their lives, and look at what Shabri Mata did. From a very small child, when Mahadan Rishi spoke to her, he says, we are going to look for Bhagwan. Shabri Mata was able to say to Bhagwan, to say to Mahadan Rishi, he says, Prabhu, let me go alongside with you. Mahadan Rishi stopped her, he says, no, you don't go, you don't come with us. My heritage, my mandir, my temple, everything over here is yours. But you see, we are on our quest to go and look for God. You could stay right over here, and God will come and look for you. From a very small child to a very old woman, she performed her penance, she performed her karma. How did she do it? She would pick the flowers, she would get the waters, she would get the fruits, she would get every item that she believed that Bhagwan Shri Ramchandra would like. When Shri Ram didn't come today, you know what she would do? She would never get this heart out. Never. She would then take up everything, discard it, and go to sleep with the thought, maybe my Bhagwan Shri Ramchandra will come tomorrow. And for years upon years, decades upon decades, she performed that karma. This is why devotees, Bhagwan Shri Krishna is stating, he says that karma is superior to sannyasi. We must begin to understand that being a sannyasi devotee, we have reached a pinnacle in life, but yet still and for all, we continue to learn. What does he say next, my friends? We listen. Narayanaye Krishnaye Govindaye Namo Namah. Narayanaye Krishnaye Govindaye Namo Namah. निश्चय करके भक्त से कहो यह सुन कृष्ण बोलेंगे अर्जुन की आजू गाजा और करो हरे कृष्ण हरि गोविंदाय नमो नमः।
इन दोनों के कर्मों से बोले है श्री कृष्ण भोले के अर्जुन से सन्यासी कर्म श्रेष्ठ है हरे हरे कृष्णाय गोविंदाय नमो नमः नारायण गोविंदाय नमो नमः गोविंदाय नमो नमः
प्रेम से बोलो वृंदावन में लाल की जय। What happens is that Bhagavan Shri Krishna is continuing, he is speaking to Arjuna. He says, understand this, my dear devotees. He says, understand this, my dear sons. He says that sannyasi has indeed attained that state of life. How? By performance of karmas. He will go from place to place to place. He will perform his duties. And reaching in that pinnacle, reaching at that highest stage of life, he will then discard all of these attachments and focus his mind upon Bhagavan. He will continuously live that life. He will continuously live that life time and time again. And devotees, this is what we need to do. We must often be able to recognize that every action that we do has a certain spirit, has a certain gift, has a certain merit. So this is why, devotees, what happens is that we must think of every action as a wonderful bhajan states. He Jagatrata Vishwa Vidhata He Sukha Shanti Nikitane He Jagatrata Vishwa Vidhata He Sukha Shanti
जगदाता विश्व विराटा हे सुख शांति He Jagatrata, Vishwa Vidhata, O Lord of this entire world, He Sukha Shanti, the gate
O Lord, who is able to give to us happiness, peace, we have to call upon you. As the Bible says, Prem is in who? Deen ke bandhu. The one who is indeed the harbinger of love, and one who continues to give to us happiness, Sindhu. Indeed, the Father of the world, the ruler of this entire world. Dukh Darishari, Nash, and He remove whatever sorrows, whatever problems that we have within our lives. Hey Parameshwar, this is our prayer that we ask of you. Allow the karmas that we perform within our lives be governed by you time and time again. Namaskar Bhuvan Pratipalak Namaskar Bhuvan Pratipalak Namaskar Bhuvan Pratipalak Jeevan ki avan bhagale Jeevan ki Prabhu, wonderful Father, hey Prabhu, oh wonderful Father, protect the life of mind, France, Prabhu, wonderful Father, from the true world, let there be no ill luck, even again, our London heaven, allow the life of mind to come unto you. Hey, Prem se boलो वृंदावन के लाल की. My friends, Bhagwan Shri Krishna, this is what we must do. We must turn our attention, we must turn our focus onto Bhagwan Shri Krishna and ask of him that Paramatma, whatever action, whatever karmas that we perform within our lives, allow you to be that one to guide it. Make sure that everything that we do, it is indeed a prasad, it is indeed a worship to you. This is how we can liberate ourselves, my dear devotees. You know, one thing I've always learned, and it's something I'm going to share with you all. When I was small, I used to follow Bhagwan Shri Satya Sai Baba. Even up to this very stage, I still follow him. And I would go and we would listen to whatever the teacher would have taught us. And one thing that she taught me that I still implement in my day, almost in my everyday life. She said to us, whenever you have to do anything and you have any spare time, take God. She said, you don't know when is going to be your last breath. You know, the writer places it in a very beautiful bhajan. What does it say? समय राम को बन बताए, समय ज़ेदा हरदम आए, समय किसी को ना चढ़े, इंसान हो या भगवान बाबा, समय बड़ा बलवान बाबा, समय बड़ा बलवान. किसी की रहत नहीं है, सब्र नहीं के समान बाबा, समय बड़ा बलवान बाबा, समय बड़ा बलवान बाबा, समय बड़ा बलवान. If I ask you what is the most dangerous snake in the world, what you can tell me? Mackerel snake, cobra, python, king cobra, rattlesnake, whatever the case may be, whatever you view that snake to be, always remember that there is always somebody who recovered from that bite. But what if I tell you that, my dear devotees, that there is a snake that wanted to bite you, that you could never heal from it? You know what is that snake, my friends? The snake of time. None of us know where we are going to be next 5 minutes. And this is what is the mystery of time. Do you know when a snake is going to bite you? Nobody knows. Do you know where you're going to be? Do you know where you're going to be tomorrow? Do you know where you're going to be next week? Do you know where you're going to be next hour? How many a times are we faced with the situation that, I know talking to this man and the man there already, I can't believe this. Death is something that does not announce itself. This is why my teacher, she spoke to me and she says that whenever you have to do anything, always make sure that whenever you walk, every step that you take the name Ram. So I would go Ram, 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 Ram. If you make 10,000 steps and you say Ram 10,000 times, you know what type of blessings is that? You know how much karmas that you're burning out? My friends, live each day as it is indeed our last. He says, संन्यास से कर्म से श्रेष्ठ है, आर्थिक कर्म करते हैं. Arjuna is speaking, Arjuna is listening to Bhagavan Shri Krishna. He's saying that this internal sannyasi who is never affected by sorrow and happiness, who neither hates anyone or desires anything, only such a person is freed from bondage. You cannot expect to be living a dharmic way of life. And yet, for example, I tell him, I don't like him. He gets vexed with me and he tells me that, well, I don't like you either. The Bhagavad Gita explains to us something which is called the pairs of opposites. The pairs of opposites is hot and cold, compliments and insults, uplifted as well as derogatory statements. What Bhagavan Shri Krishna is teaching each and every one of us is that we need to be something which is called samdrishti. Samdrishti means with an even vision, that we are not bothered by these things, so we are able to hold on to bondage. And when I mean bondage, I mean that we are able to hold on to these negative comments, or these positive comments, or these uplifting comments. Because why? We'll continue to expect it. If I tell somebody that I don't like you, they will get vexed with me, they want to quarrel with me, they might even want to fight me. That is not the role of a sannyasi, my dear devotees. You are allowing the bondage of my words and my negative comments to hinder you from seeing or from going forward, or from going yet another step upwards. My friends, Bhagavan Sri Krishna continues. He says, "O Arjuna, the ignorant call Sankhya Yoga as separate from Karma Yoga. In some places that one gets that knowledge is attained by Karma Yoga. So everything that we do, my friends, has karma in it. We can learn from it. We learn from our actions. We learn from our mentality. We learn from how the reactions of other people. He says that which sees knowledge and action which leads to the same goal truly sees. The debate over here, my friends, is whether karma as well as Jnana Yoga, Karma Yoga, whether they lead to divergent paths or they lead to the same goal. And this is why, my friends, Bhagavan Shri Krishna he says that person who sees knowledge and action which leads to the same goal truly sees in reality. So not just because I know, I'm going to say, Priya does not know. But she's a very steadfast person. She would get up in the morning, she would offer Shijal, whatever mantra she knows, she would say it. She would offer her water to Surya Narayan Swami upon a tulsi tree. Does not mean because I know something a little more than her, or I read more shastras, I read more scriptures. Does not mean that our goal is different. Our goals are the same. My friends, Bhagavan Shri Krishna continues. What does he say? We listen. Sri Krishna Sharanam Namah, Sri Krishna Sharanam Namah, Sri Krishna Sharanam Namah, Arjun, it is difficult. Karma Yoga, and the expert, and they very soon attain Brahma by purification of mind. So you see, when a person performs their karmas time and time again, with a steadfast mind, what they need to do is that they will indeed attain that oneness with the one. Why? Because they get up with the mindset that we must get up every morning and perform that water. We must offer that water. We must see about our animals. We must offer that flowers to that tree, to that murti, to that animal, to whatever the case may be. But we live a dharmic way of life. So once our mind is indeed stable, and we understand our true calling in this world, there's nothing that can ever stop us. You know, this is something my father used to always say. In order for you to have something that you've never had before, you must be willing to do something that you have never done before. If you want to lose weight, get up and exercise. If you want to save, if you want to have money, save. This is indeed devotees, our mindset in life. We need to understand that once our karmic account continues to be built time and time again, day after day after day, at the final stages of life, devotees, we attain that oneness of Brahma. And not only in karma, devotees, but as the bhajan says, what does the bhajan say? O bhaj kyun nala umar rahe bahari, bhaj kyun nala umar rahe bahari, bhaj kyun nala umar rahe bahari.
A person does not follow satsang or the formation of truth or the gathering of truth. Pure mindfulness. What type of fool has is that person? Papi, but don't get hurry. That person is nothing more than a sinner. So what you must do? Guys, so start right in the down with the mouth below the hurry. It is world of money in existence. You must do it, you look at every argument. It is our life to uplift ourselves. Ramchandra ki jai. Vibhuti सुन के able to put our mind to such a manner that you know satsang is taking place. You ever see a satsang nowadays as we have? No, I'm not bashing anybody, but I'm just making a point. We have something, a small black object within our hand. Every time you see a person on TikTok, they're on Facebook, they're on WhatsApp. During satsang, my dear devotees, I call it the electronic dog leash. My friends, we cannot control our minds. This is why I said, yes, in this world of mundane existence, my dear friends, what we must do is that we must allow our mind to be free from this. We must never allow these things to hinder us from attaining our true karmic duty. He continues, Bhagwan Shri Krishna continues. He says that that person who is engaged in karma yoga and he reminisces, he thinks about attachments, he thinks about desires and goes to that person is not a sannyasi. That person is just clothing. This is why, friends, you often look at everything that we do within our lives. Your mind must indeed be pure. And the mind devotee is one of the great and one of the most challenging things in order for us to control. You know, Bhagwan Shankar, he has a special type of a prayer. And this prayer is called the Shiva Manas Stotra. Manas, which means mind. If a person can recite that mantra efficiently and effectively and understand each shloka as to what they are doing, that prayer will begin to lead to you at least 10 times greater than the amount of puja, merits of prayer than performing a puja. Why? Because in order for us to recite that mantra, our mind must be free, pure. And this is why in that state of sannyas, my dear devotees, we must leave out, we must forget the duties of the day. Bhagavan Shri Krishna continues, he says that person whose mind is pure, who has conquered the senses and who has conquered the souls, and does not consider his soul to be different from others, is indeed truly liberated. If I were to ask you a very simple question, who are you? Now get me straight, eh? The question is, who are you, not what is your name. My second question to you is, what are you doing here? And when I mean here, I do not mean at this address. What are you doing here on earth? Who are you? What are you doing here? And why are you here? Think about these three questions. Who? What? Why? If I ask a normal person, who is your wife? First thing we say, well, I study. What you doing here? I come to play drum. Why? Because I is your father and you have to play drum for me. Devotees, the sooner that we understand Aham Brahmasmi, meaning that we are not this body, for we are indeed that divine spark of Bhagavan, which is called a Jiva Atma. The Jiva Atma, which happens to be the individual soul that came from the Paramatma, or the universal soul. We all have that spark of divinity. If I were to take a glass of about 5 glasses, different sizes, colors, texture and so forth, and I were to go into that tap and I open that tap and I fill all of these containers with water, is the water different in these glasses than from the tank? It is the same water. So in this same analogy, devotees, that tank which is indeed the symbolism of Bhagavan's Vishnu, the various glasses are the various models of the various individuals. Now if I were to take one glass and I fill it with dirt and mud and sand and all these sort of things and stir it up good and proper so you get like a nice piece, would you allow me to put back the water inside the tank? The answer is no. So to devotees, by our karmas, negative karmas that we have performed, it becomes like that dirt, it becomes like that mud water if you want to look at it. So we cannot join back Bhagavan Sri Krishna if we are like this. Live our lives pertaining to dharma, live our lives pertaining to the Shastras, my dear friends. He continues. He says, Karne wale मुनिजन कर्म करने से चित सुधर द्वार बहुत शाग्रही की बदन ब्राह्मणों के प्राप्त होते जाते हैं। हे अर्जुन, जो कर्म योग के युक्त है अर्थात काम नाक त्याग करते कि कर्म के करते हैं। He continues, he says, "O Arjun, liberated people, what happens to them? These individuals, they observe, they listen, they touch, they walk, they sleep, they breathe, yet I do nothing." These senses are already from their two objectives. The first person is the person who performs it, and such a person, such actions to Brahma. The second is the person who is desirous of fruits of action. If, for example, I tell a person, I said, you take a tulsi leaf and you offer it onto the shaligram, and 10,000 births of sin will be removed. A person who has their intent focused on simply performing that action and having 10,000 births of sin removed, they will just take that without any sort of bhakti, without any sort of devotion, and they will offer it. They will take it and they will try it. Yeah. They just put it just okay. But a person who understands what they are doing by their devotees, and never allows the fruit of thy action to be thy only motive, they will take that tulsi leaf and day after day, time after time, just as Shakti Mata would have done, preparing herself to receive Bhagwan Shri Ramchandra, so too that person of a divine quality would take this tulsi leaf and would offer it. Why? Because they want to, not because they have to. They want to get up every single morning and appease Bhagwan. My friends, that person who does not indulge in any sort of sin, that person lives like that life of a lotus flower and its leaves. When we look at the lotus flower, a lotus flower is at least 10 feet of the water. Talking about the original lotus flowers, we are talking about the water lilies of the sea, dams and ponds and so forth. The original lotus flower, the leaf from that flower is 4 feet of the water. The flower itself is an additional 6 feet from the leaf. So just as how that lotus flower's beauty is never affected by the murky waters around it, so too we must be like that. We must become like that lotus flower, my dear devotees, and never allow ourselves to be affected by the murkiness and by the dirtiness or by the negative events or in negative or the negative influences from around each and every one of us. This is why, devotees, when we live in this world of mundane existence, it is very, very easy to lose our direction, for us to lose our track. Think about what we have to do within our lives, my dear devotees. Atma se bhi nahi मान में है वे कर्म करते हैं हो भी उत्पन्न लिखे नहीं होते हैं. He says, O Arjun, the mind, the body, the intellect, the yogi attains the desire of all the fruits and woods only with the senses, leaving it behind and relinquishing the fruit of the action is ready to attain peace. These who live happily, renouncing the world with the mind, have no ego within their lives. That person who allows his mind and his body to be freed, man karma vachana kapati taji jogara bhushan se. Man is mind. The mind, as we spoke about earlier, is indeed a very, very difficult thing to
control. Man, kram. From our mind, what happens? A thought is born. Man, kram. So from our mind, a thought is born. From that thought, we analyze, we sit. Kram. Man, kram. Karma is, as we know, action. Man, kram, vachan. So from our words, we then put it to practice. So we then live our lives according to the words that has been embedded in our mind, or the thoughts that has been embedded in our mind. Man, kram, vachana. From there onwards, it can either be uplifting or demoting within our lives. Man, kram, vachan. So man, kram and vachan. He says that person who has his life, who does not desire the fruit of his action and lives only for the senses, leaving it behind. Meaning that whenever I do something, I'm not bothered by whatever anybody else thinks. But I live my life relinquishing or giving up all of the fruits of these actions. For my only goal is to ensure that the blessings of Bhagavan will continuously be upon me. My friends, he continues, he says that these individuals who live happily and renouncing themselves and are renouncing the work of the mind, these people have no ego. And which is one of the greatest killers in today's society. When a person believes that they are untouchable, that they puff their chest out and they say, do you know who I am? My friends, make that change within your lives. It is never too late. Bhagavan gives you 180-degree turn. If you are headed on a wrong pathway of life, make that change. Think about every action that has been ordained or you have performed as indeed an offering to Bhagavan. And then, and only then, when we are able to realize this, can we become greater and better. Prem se bolo Shri Vrindavan Bihari Lal ki. So my dear devotees, this is indeed my summary of my little katha. I didn't want to take up too much of time because I know that there's a couple of other things that needs to be done. So before I hand over to before we continue with our proceedings, I'd like to pass over to the group who will give us a couple of bhajans, and then we shall reconvene in a couple of moments.
जय शिव शंकर जय शंकर बोले सब देवों ने देव निराले जय बम बम बोले जय शिव शंकर जय शंकर बोले सब देवों ने देव निराले जय बम बम बोले जय शिव
That is my 9-year-old and my 7-year-old boy. So, I believe that we would like to call upon Uncle Bancham to come forth, who had known his wonderful father for a very long period of time, and they had the same group together. They were in the same group actually. So I feel very honored to actually have you there. So to come forth.
कोई मिलकर सियापति रामचंद्र भगवान की जय. And hearing the beautiful voices of these little boys and the wonderful group, I think they deserve a next hand of applause. Well done, well done. That was beautifully done. It reminded me in my early years singing together. Baba just indicated I sang with his grandfather. His grandfather, I used to sit down and listen to us doing Ramayans and song and so on. It is of importance. And Babaji, whatever you have narrated and expounded from the holy text, the Srimad Bhagavad Gita, was so beautifully put. The thoughts were very beautifully expressed. And it couldn't be better. It was very well done. And Bhagavan Krishna continues, he continues to help Arjun. He's helping Arjun in understanding and to helping him to understand and to know for himself the infinite, ultimate power of God. And Bhagavan Krishna is at his side at all times. And he said, Arjun, if you want to know what this world is, you will realize the reality of this world only when you see through the eyes of knowledge. Knowledge is of paramount importance in each and every one of our lives. Hence, Bhagavan Krishna is telling Arjuna again and again, Nahi jnani na sadrisham pavitramiha vidyate. There is nothing more sacred like knowledge in this world. Nothing. If you, and Arjun, everybody don't know. And when we say everybody don't know, we include all of ourselves. All of us here. Everybody don't know it. But a man with knowledge, the man who has knowledge, his life and his family are heaven for him. Let me repeat that. The man with knowledge and understanding of what this world is, his life and his family are heaven for him. Man without that requisite knowledge, that heaven is turned into a hell. And that goes a long, long way. We can elaborate on that a lot. But through the medium of Bhagavan Krishna says again, live knowledgeably in this world, O Arjun, and you will not come to grief. And who do you think he's telling that? He's using Arjun just as a medium for you and I to understand. what this life is and what we are all about. And with knowledge here, we better understand what we are, who we are, what we are all about, what is God, and what is God, what is our relationship with God. That is the messages that Bhagavan Krishna is trying to tell Arjuna and helping him to understand it with every word that he is speaking to him. Lo and behold, each and every one of us have to understand that if we want happiness in this world, let us perform actions. As Baba was saying, I heard him just now and he was making that remarkable statement, that let us perform actions so that we can be happy. When we perform good actions, we can expect good results. What Jesus Christ said, as you sow, so shall you reap. And that is so eternal. Those words. कौन है सुख दुख को देने वाले सब अपने किए कर्म को भोगते हैं. Each and every one of us, none of us suffers or are happy through the cause of another. It is as a result of what we really planted. That is what we will do. And it is so beautiful to see. I won't be too long, and with these few words, you know, it is so much when you come, and Baba was indicating Karma Kand. And who is the Karma Yogi? The Karma Yogi is that person who would do his duties, perform his responsibilities without looking for rewards. He is not looking for anything in return. Okay, karmanye vaadhikaraste ma phulishu kadachana. That's so, Baba. And that is so profound for us to understand. Bhagavan Krishna says that if we live knowledgeably in this world, we will not come to grief here. Try to be, you see, it is important that we be kind and loving with each and everyone. Kindness and love, if we have that in our consciousness, we will always find our way, without a doubt. Kindness and love. Asakto hyacharan paramapanoti purusha. Actions performed without the attachment leads the man to the realization of the supreme power. Bolo Sri Radhe Krishna Chandra Bhagavan ki Gopal Radhe. Each and every one, let us chant, let us capitalize and make this tongue very useful by chanting the glorifying name of the Lord and Master of all life. Gopal Radhe Krishna Govinda Govinda Gopal. Gopal Radhe Krishna Govinda Govinda Gopal. Gopal 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 Radhe Krishna Govinda Govinda Gopal. Govinda Govinda Gopal Radhe Krishna Govinda Govinda Gopal Radhe Govinda Govinda Gopal Govinda Govinda Gopal Gopal Radhe Krishna Govinda Govinda Bolo Sri Radhe Krishna Chandra Bhagavan ki Jai. And I would also see this in closing, that I consider myself to be very, very fortunate in that, as Baba had stressed on the greatness of satsang. Had it not been for the company of the Dadaji who have passed away from this home, together with my father and all the other elders, I was not going, I would not be able to stand and say these words before you. So I capitalize on that great blessings, and wherever those great souls are, Hey Bhagwan, Raksha Karo, Kshama Karo, Ashirvad, shower choicest grace and blessings upon those great souls in your eternal kingdom. Bolo Sri Krishna Chandra Bhagavan ki Jai. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much, Papa. So, Very, very profound words, very, very knowledgeable speaker, understands Dharma, and was also a very wonderful person alongside Gaudiya Papa. So at this point in time, I believe that we have yet another speaker who would like to make his presence.
Sit around to every one of you present here. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. My name is Ajoda Sukhu. My father and Mr. Mahadeo Mangaroo were cousins, so I am his nephew. And it's a pleasure for me to see something about his life here this afternoon. They say life is not measured by how many years we live, but by the kindly things we do and the happiness we give. So that gives us a little direction. Pandit asked a while ago, who are you? Why are you here? Now some people look at it and say we are divine beings in a human form. Some people put it the other way, the reverse. We are human beings, but we have a divine connection. What are you here on earth for? We are here, as some people say, to reconnect with God. Of all the species, we are the highest. We have a brain, we can think, compared to the animals. So it gives us a chance to reconnect with God. You see, when you pray, you talk to God. But when you meditate, God talks to you. I am very, very impressed with the life, especially the early life of Mr. Mahadeo Mangaroo. He came from very humble beginnings, but he did not let that keep him back. Being an unlettered person, he didn't go to a full primary school and secondary school. But I am amazed at how he was able to read the scriptures. And not only that, many people can read scriptures, but time to interpret it, as we say, the esoteric meaning, the meaning beneath the surface, they cannot do that. And he was good, very, very good at that. I think the epitome of his capability was at the Sudama Mandir, I think in New York, where he held his audience very captive. They too were very, very impressed with his ability to read the scriptures and explain it. And very few, some of the people who are versed in it, they have difficulty, as I said, in explaining the scriptures. So he had a very, very humble beginning, very difficult time, a very checkered history, but he rose above those circumstances. And I think that is an important lesson for us. When God presents obstacles to us, we must take it as a challenge, as a test, and don't say, oh God, why I have to go through this? Why I have to go through that? Life cannot be happiness all the time. You're going to get bored. And you might end up doing a lot of wrong things when you are not challenged. So his life is a very, very good example for us. No matter what our circumstances, we have to try to rise above it. Be an example to others. You see, pran dry or wachana dry. The breath leaves the body and goes, but our deeds are here to guide the lives of those who are coming after us. And he is the typical example, he is the epitome of what you can do to rise above your circumstances. So here I am indeed proud of the children who have organized so that we can still pay tribute to him. His life has gone, but his deeds are here as a guide for us to improve our life and to reconnect with God. In conclusion, I want to say it is a fitting opportunity for this and further on when the year comes up again to celebrate again his life. And don't think about it as, he has dead and gone, but we want to celebrate his life and take a pattern to improve our lives and to reconnect with God. Thank you. Consider.
Thank you very much, Uncle. And now we have yet one last speaker.
Panditji, members of the group, devotees, Sitaram. I want to say how thankful I am to this family for giving me this opportunity to say a few words here this evening. I must say I was closely associated with the deceased Mahadeo Mangaroo. He is the one who encouraged me to be in satsang. I and his children went to school together, Polly and one of the deceased son, Deva, as we all know him. We were in the same class together, and after I left school, he met me by the scale and said, "Listen, boy, we want a few young people to get in satsang, and when we bowl a one die out, who will be in this thing?" And a few times like this, he spoke to me by the scale, and when passing in the road, talked to me and tell me again until I begin to come satsang with him. And he is the one who encouraged me. And I will tell you, it was very hard to sing a bhajan because I didn't know any bhajan. And when he tell me, anywhere we go Ramai, I the first one he hand the mic. Oh, he tell, you sing first. And I say, see no bhajan. And he say, you sing first. That's where the big drop. We in a church sat down with a few hundred people. And he passed the mic, he said, you go start this singing. Well, another thing he tell me, he say, listen, when you talk, you're singing, you don't watch the audience. Watch above them, watch the ceiling, watch the Japanese, And like this, he encouraged me. And we were in satsang for over 50 years. Chowtal, all over the country, Ramai satsang, and like this. He encouraged me, and I learned a lot from him. I am thankful for that from him. We share a lot of chit-chat and talk to me a lot of his life story. He was the breadwinner of the home when the two elder brothers married and go in their own way. And 3 or 4 younger brothers and sisters with him, and he was the breadwinner to take care of the home. He said, boy, we sit down, just one man come and tell me. He said, listen, I want to give you a deal, business. He said, what bhaiya? Was a old man. He said, listen, I want to go back India, but this lady don't want to go with me. He says, so I'm giving you a deal.
5 acres of land, and my son, give me $10 and take it. And listen, the lady has no value, the lady go have to mind the child. So the lady will stay by you. You know, it sounds like a joke, but he said this is what he went through in life, and this is what he was laughing and thinking and talking to me and telling me. He said, look what life was. At that time, $10, 5 acres of land. You know, like this, we sit in his last days and talk a lot about his time he passed in life. It was very tough. He tell me, listen, I buy this land here, and you know how much money I have? $40 to buy this land. And I walk and pay for it. So like this, we shared a lot of his life story together, telling me many things about it in his lifetime. And I learned a lot from him by reading, as you have heard the previous speakers said, how he read the Ramayana and explained simple, you know, with not much English education, going to secondary school or things like this. And he read the Ramayana and explained it so simple that anyone can understand it. Now, two speakers talked before me, so I don't want to go anymore, but I'll give you a short bhajan. And it goes like this. Prem se boliye Bhajo Ramachandra ki jai. Jai 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 Tripurari. Jai 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 Tripurari. Jai 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 Tripurari. Jai 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 Tripurari. Jai Pritrilokan Jai Jukmotan Jai Hi Mangalakari. Jai Jai Tripurari. Jai Jai Tripurari. Mukti Pradayak Sharan Tarangi Sheshatari Sohiti Gangi. Mukti Pradayak Sharan Tarangi Sheshatari Sohiti Gangi. Anga Bhabut Ramaye Gori Dekhe Akhiyari. Jai Jai Tripurari. Jai 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 Tripurari. Jai 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 Tripurari. Jai 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 Tripurari. Bale Rundaki Manukati Mrigata Bhasma Sanusaje. Churi Chandra Sohibandi Mapadin Kar Jabaro Bhaje. Dushti Kanjana Jai Jagabandhi. Jai Trisul Kardhari. Jai Jai Tripurari. 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 प्रेम से बोले भजो रामचंद्र की जय.
Thank you very much, Uncle. So now we have Mahadeo, one of the sons of this wonderful home, to give us an account as the wonderful father
Sit down, sit down. I don't know, I'm in a spot yet. Didn't prepare anything, but welcome everyone. Thanks for coming. I don't know, it's so much to say. Very emotional. It is what it is, right? You guys did a wonderful job. Keep it up. And hopefully, as time goes by, everybody will be able to reconnect with us and continue what you're doing here. Whatever the man did, he did his whole life. We'll try to do the same. Like you see, I'm very emotional. That's the most I can do. Thanks again for everyone for coming and supporting us.
Thank you so much for that. You know, homes of this nature can be considered like a mandir. Seeing the type of individual that has grown up and have lived in this such a place, the impact he had upon lives and society, we are indeed very, very much blessed to be in such a place where culture, Ramayana, and all of these wonderful scriptures was lived, practiced, read. You know, Ramcharitra says, Mandir Mandir Prati Karisoga, Deke Jaha Taha Agin Kajoda. This was a wonderful father. You know, I listened to the short clip that Gideon Hanuman sings. I still have that video on my phone. That video is permanently on my phone. And recently I was looking at it, and when I listened to the part where our dear wonderful father was reading, it brought out so much of beautiful, you know, how he made the Ramayana and how he spoke about the Ramayana. There was a certain passion that he had from the Ramayana. My father, he came over one time, Papa. He came over one time, and my father asked him, he says, you ever hear about a book called the Dharm Sandhu? He said, what is that book about it? My father told me the book, and this is something he never does. He never does. The only person he would do this to is to his brother, my uncle Pandit, or Pandit. He took the book and he gave it to him. He said, go through it and tell me if you like it. After about a week, Papa brought back the book. He said, Panditji, these are real nice books. But one of them, I don't have working good already. So you keep back this, let me see if the next book. Meaning that he was so engrossed and so in love with that book. But the character is that the Ramayana was able to expound. This one went a depth further. I know it enticed him. So being in a place where this wonderful father had impacted upon the lives of all of us is truly a remarkable feat for all of us. My friends, in closing, I'd like to leave to each and every one of you all a very beautiful bhajan. And it's a Bhojpuri style bhajan. Now bhajans are something that's not only written in Sanskrit or Hindi, but they are also English bhajans, they are Bhojpuri bhajans and so forth. And it is a bit of a fast beat bhajan, but yes, for the message is very, very powerful. What does it say? Let us listen. Prem se bol se Vrindavan, Bihari Lal ki. Pichde wale munniya, pichde wale munniya. पिछड़े वाले मुन्निया, पिछड़े वाले मुन्निया, चल मुसाफिर मोलियो रे पिछड़े वाले मुनिया चल के मुसाफिर मोलियो रे पिछड़े वाले मुनिया चल के मुसाफिर मोलियो रे पिछड़े वाले मुनिया What is the first line say? What is the chorus say? He says, on the way the traveler has become the bird into the cage. What is this cage about, my dear devotees? What is the bird? The bird is me and you. What is the cage? Maya of Bhagwan Shri Vishnu. What happens in this cage, my friends? Let us listen. What happened? Within this cage of Maya, you know what we are able to see? Become so enwrapped and so enticed with the rest of the sweetness of Barfi. And not only Barfi, but full of jamun and all of these things. We try to satisfy our tongue. And despite these things may not be healthy for us, we become attached to these things, enhancing our lives as we not maybe but becoming sick in the process. What do you do next? We then enter yet another cage. And what is wrong with this cage? Close. Kapra. Kapra says, is somebody's failure. We become so enwrapped in the beauty of clothing. And our homes have much more laundry baskets and space. Much more covers and space. We want to buy this clothing, we want to buy that clothing. But we decorate our bodies on the outside, but the inside of us needs the most amount of care and attention. Last shloka, last stanza. It says, we, being the bird in that cage, what happens to us? We try to food at the provision shop. And we ate and we ate and we ate to our heart's content, neglecting our brothers and sisters on the outside there, who are unable to have even a mouthful of food. For we live within this cage of Maya. Ramcharitamanas states, Hari Maya krita doshu vinabinu hari bhajana na jai. That a person who continues to live in this world of illusion, of Bhagwan's Vishnu illusion, is Binu Hari Bhajan Na Jai, meaning it is the person who does not glorify the name of Bhagwan's Vishnu. So my dear devotees, this will indeed bring an end to our little satsang for tonight. I do hope and trust that you all would have learned something. You know, it's something that a very beautiful character from the 5th chapter, a very beautiful part from the 5th chapter of the Bhagavad Gita. It's the Hindi Bhasha that I began reading. And take these books, my friends. Read it. Dust it out from underneath your bed. Open up the yellow cloth. You say Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya, and you open any page. And whatever page you land upon, read the 2 sides of that page. Whatever problems you have within your life, it will be found within that page, and a solution will indeed be found as well. So my friends, on behalf of this wonderful family, thank you for coming and joining us in celebrating the life of this wonderful Father. Bolo Vrindavan Deolal Ki Jai. So devotees, let us join our hands together. Let us all close our eyes as we join together, as we ask the blessings of Bhagavan the Prabhu to bless us. You know everything in this world, wherever that wonderful soul may be, allow him into that awaiting arms of yours. Om Mantrahinam Kriyahinam Bhaktinam Janadhanam
Yathabhutam Yadeva Paripurnam Sarasumay Shiva Shiva Namasake Prabhu Tevetata Panivarana Vivu Ajasane Shwarayana Papahima Shiva Vijayam Kumure Varam Pratitinam Kushalam Jayamangalam Tameva Mata Chavita Tameva Tameva Bandhu Chasaka Tameva Tameva Vedya Paravyam Tameva Tameva Sarvam Mama Deva Deva Om Shanti Shanti Shanti.
Prem se bolo Sri Siddhi Vinayak Swami ki Jai, Vrindavan Deolal ki Jai, Satya Sanatan Dharma ki Jai. Sitaram everyone. Sitaram everybody. I want to know what we're done. Acha, my dear devotees, Arti will meet you where you are. Parasad will meet you where you are. Meals are prepared for each and every one of you all, so please stay back, partake. It is already boxed out because we all know that monkeypox and coronavirus and so forth. You know, these things are still present, but we haven't had monkeypox yet, thank God. So, as a form of abstinence and a form of safety. This is why this measure is indeed taken place. So devotees reach home safely. Jai Sri Ram.